Recently, I've had quite a few firsts. More like first in a while. You see, as a mid-20s student living alone, I have a lot of bad habits and not enough good ones. I have a tendency to eat out a lot. I have a gym membership that I never use. I have a tendency to skip work in school. All things that a responsible adult should not do. The idea of cooking seems almost like a whimsical fantasy to the current me. Cooking itself is fun and interesting, almost like a science experiment. However, ingredient management is a bit overwhelming to me. As a result, the few times that I actually go to the grocery store, my cart is usually filled up with some combination of snacks, candy, and soda. However, recently I went shopping like a normal, well-adjusted human adult. I recently got a mini Instant Pot for my mother, so I decided to find a recipe and make it. I decided on this really easy and simple Colombian stew recipe from J. Kenji Lopez Alt, who is probably my favorite cooking content creator. Babish and Josh Wiseman are up there too. I also decided to get some ingredients for vegetable soup to try and get used to buying a larger amount of ingredients and managing them. Side note, Whole Foods is expensive, but it's the only grocery store within walking distance for me. Double side note, I am writing this after I bought all the groceries, and turns out vegetables go bad very quickly. So next time I'm going to be freezing my carrots and celery. Now, all the recipe calls for is chicken, potatoes, onions, tomatoes, a couple bay leaves, and spice. I ended up reducing the number of ingredients by about 2/3 since I am a single Pringle, but as you can see by this picture, it still is filled to the brim since I'm using a mini Instant Pot. I was actually a bit worried that it was overfull, but it turned out alright. I was also worried about the float valve and freaked out about the cook time halfway through since I didn't know if having the ingredients have the time to cook as well. In the end though, it was delicious. Even though what I did could barely qualify as cooking, it was still pretty satisfying to make. And since then I've also made the vegetable soup. I plan on making chicken noodles sometime this week too. Now, last Saturday, I also went to my workout class for the first time in a number of days large enough to lose count. I have a membership to this thing called Orange Theory Fitness, which is kind of like a HIIT class. My previous MO was to go multiple times in a couple of weeks and then not go for the next couple of months. I'm hoping that as my job hunt wraps up, I'll prioritize it more and not fall back into that pattern. Now, a couple weeks ago, I actually cleaned my room for the first time since I moved in, honestly. I just had a ton of laundry piled up and also a ton of Pokemon cards that I needed to put away in boxes. And it was really nice seeing my carpet. That's a bit of an over-exaggeration. I vacuumed, I promise. But it was really nice to see my room clean. Since then, it has gotten a bit messier, but I still try to keep it clean. Laundry sucks. Recently, I also went to a movie in theaters for the first time in a while. My friends and I went to see Dune 2 at our local science center since they have this crazy IMAX dome thing that gave me a headache. It was a very good movie. Timothée Chalamet is an insanely good actor, and I wouldn't be surprised if it gets a lot of awards at the Oscars this year. I even have plans to go see Ex Machina at a different IMAX theater this Wednesday. 2 weeks straight with a form of social interaction? I'm putting up big numbers here, at least for my standard. The last first in a while is the fact that I started up therapy again in January. I've been consistently going every week. So far, I'm not sure if it's really helping that much, but at the very least it's getting me to think and try and move forward and grow up in a lot of ways. I'm the type of person who works through things out loud, and a therapist is the best kind of sound word for me, I think. Also, I lied. The last first in a while is this video. Hopefully though, it won't be a while until I make another. See you next time.